All right, so we're starting to record. All right, thanks everybody. Hopefully this will be fairly short and we'll be in good shape, but just wanted to have the meeting so we could keep up with what's going on. In addition to the bylaws that we've been doing, I think one more time and we'll just about be through with that. So appreciate everybody's help on that, especially Mary Jean. That's been great. So, all right. Just want to kind of go, Joe. You're always a good one to start with. How we doing on the bus?
I talked with my contact down in Jackson, Mississippi with Klein Tours, and I presented trying to get the 40 passenger bus price for the 56 passenger, and said that in 2019, I asked the driver why we got the 56 passenger bus instead of the 40, and she said it was more economical. So I asked him if we could get the 40 passenger bus price for a 56 passenger bus, and he said put it in writing, and I did, and he said he had to give it to the owner, and he hadn't gotten back to me yet. So you don't have to really put that in the minutes other than we're negotiating prices.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's good. I mean, we've used them enough where, and if they're both available and one of them's more efficient, and they might prefer using the bigger one.
And then also, I said that it gave more room for social distancing.
That's what I was going to say. If they're not using it, they'd probably rather have us in that one than the other one. So, all right. Hang on just a second. I didn't plug in my.
Got that one, and training. I'm looking at training, starting a tech class. Hold on a second. Where is it? A tech class, either the last Thursday in June, which is the day, 2 days before field day, or July the 8th. Just depends on, I'm trying to avoid from having to have the class on the 22nd of July because I have something to do then. But probably started on the 24th and skip the 22nd of July and end on August the 12th. But I've got to get it finalized, get it approved by the boss.
Hey, by the way, if I can interrupt, Shelby County is under a severe thunderstorm warning, so
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
it just went off.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, just now. It's a small cell, but it looks pretty intense.
Okay.
So just to let everybody know, continue on.
Okay. All right. Anything else you got going on, Joe? Sound like we had, I'm sorry I missed the thing on Saturday, but
Junk in the trunk,
technically wasn't ours, but
junk in the trunk. The club got, I think, about $100. I think it's $99, but I've got to reconcile the equipment versus I'm short about $60, and I want to see where it got sold. I didn't write it down for somehow or another. And then I sold some Bill Stevens stuff, and that'll go directly to his wife.
okay.
But I thought it was worthwhile. It was a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah. I got sunburned
I did too. And
right up here.
thanks Barry and Bobby for their help and just looking over the tables.
Wish I could have gone. I had an upset stomach, so I didn't want to. drive all that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
It was a nice day.
I picked up the stuff from the church Sunday morning and got it back at my dad's. So I guess the next time we're going to do anything with it's going to be for Huntsville, huh?
Well, we might want to put it out if we have an in-house
Oh yeah, yeah.
thing, put it out on some of the tables
Yeah.
and see because I'll have it all marked and priced.
Yeah.
And if you noticed, I had the pricing on all the tubs.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, you got it pretty organized now as long as we
Well,
put it back.
number 6 is a little messed up.
I think that's the one that's on, I assume that was probably the one that you might need to do some stuff with, and that's the one that's on top of the stack, so.
I took out 1 and 3, I believe, as well as 6.
Okay,
Uh,
all right. Why, mentioning the new meetings, anybody got anything really changed? I don't keep up with what's the official word anymore. Scott might actually know a little bit more unless somebody else has kind of got the inside track.
Well, Saturday, I talked with Mike Gwynn, who's my contact at the church, and they had full services Sunday for the first time. So it just depends on, possibly June, possibly July, just depends on what June looks like maybe.
I'm almost thinking, it would be nice to be able to, if we're comfortable with it, we might mention it next week and just, staying within the, required guidelines, but just see what the turnout might be if we did do it in June. If we could do it in June, it might be a good time to do it before field day.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It's always nice to kind of have the sign up sheets and anybody answer any questions and kind of plan and organize some things. So I'm open to, let's keep that in mind. Let's not rule that out.
Okay.
Something
Could we start with a smaller group?
Yeah, but how would we limit it?
I know. I was just,
I know it.
But we are smaller than we were in prior years.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but if we start a meeting, they might come back out again too.
it's true.
We could also consider, if y'all are up for it, maybe planning on definitely having a board meeting in person in June, and then we could either kind of fill it out with the regular club meeting, or maybe even try to aim for July. So that way we'd at least be meeting in person for board members, since, I mean, that's a small group, but I don't know. If at least for the board, I would be open for starting to meet in person again if y'all are.
Well, it'd be a start.
That's a start. Maybe it would be a good time, maybe June, and maybe kind of start off, once every other month, do it live and do it online. Considering the people that need working and need to try to get their extra work. I'm assuming Zoom meeting's a little easier for people working. Okay, let's look at that. Because I'd say we could probably go ahead and definitely do that, and then we can kind of look and see. It gives Scott a chance to kind of see what's in the closet, and we can kind of see what's going on.
I checked the closet Saturday, and
Oh yeah,
we have I think I have decaf coffee, outdated coffee creamer, and a couple of cases of water.
you probably got it. Yeah. So
So I would have to start from scratch, and then Do we want to do snacks?
That's a good point.
I mean, you have to take your mask off to eat, so just supply maybe hard candies.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point. Why don't we kind of, yeah, let's just kind of, get a read from the people next week and see what they think they'd be comfortable with and how they'd want to do it.
We could also go outside and hold it in the dark.
We might say, for the most part, maybe to limit it, one thought would be, anybody that's interested in field day, try to just limit it to the in June, just the people that are maybe wanting to do something for field day so that we could, use that to organize for that. That might be one way of limiting it.
I think it's gonna be hard to limit it.
I do too, because we could have 10 people show up, or we could have everybody show up. I started saying we could have everybody show up because we haven't done much, but I mean, junk it. You can kind of almost use junk in the trunk as kind of, that wasn't from what I hear, it was a good turnout, but it wasn't more than we could handle if we were having a meeting. I think we'd be comfortable having that many at the meeting.
Well, that picture that I took was sort of later in the day. We had a fair amount earlier than that. I just didn't get a picture of the biggest crowd.
And we could tell people that, we'd still, I don't think we want to try doing it live, broadcasting it live, but we'd record it so people can see it later. If they're comfortable with comments. So let's just see. All right. All right. I guess Ian and/or Ray, we're still set with the speaker for next week.
Yeah, as far as I know, I haven't gotten any cancellations from him. I'll follow up with him either this afternoon or tomorrow just to double check, make sure nothing's changed for him.
Okay.
And he wanted the meeting invite sent to him the day of, probably so that it doesn't get buried in his inbox.
Okay.
Make sure to do that.
Okay. Where is he? Where's he?
So I think that he's in the St. Louis area.
Okay.
I'd have
I
to
think
look.
he's in Illinois, but just on the other side of the river from St. Louis.
Okay.
Okay. I guess that's one reason why I was asking to consider the time zone or something for him, but okay. All right. So if that's still set. And what do we have an idea yet for June, or is that going to be mainly field day, or what do you all think?
Historically, it's always been mainly field day.
Yeah.
I don't know how much we'll have to talk about or do this year for field day outside of the normal planning.
Like I said, the normal planning, I was thinking I could, in fact, I'll
Go over the logging program.
Yeah.
go over the logging program, because we didn't, we had kind of a scaled down field day last year. There may be some more people that might have just some general questions. It is in a new location. We can have a pretty good map. I'll try to maybe even do a quick video showing the layout of the area that we're going to do it in. And I'll try to have that actually kind of hit it real quick next week so that people can know where it's going to be. And if they wanted to go by there between now and then, when they're out in that area, they can kind of see where it is, and we could emphasize that in a little bit more detail in June.
Okay.
Okay.
And we can find, if there's not enough like discussion that comes up, we can have some like field day specific videos and things on standby along with the logging program stuff for sure.
Okay. All right.
What's going to be the title for the May presentation?
Uh,
Bill Howe,
I would just just list that it's Bob Heil.
Radio audio systems.
Yeah.
And is there a topic or is he,
It's just going to be audio for ham radio.
Mr. Headphones.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
and it's Heil, Heil?
Yes.
People should know who it is.
K9EID.
yeah. Hey, Mike, you do know who that is, right?
No.
No, he does. He does the specialized headphones that are in the headsets for ham radio.
Oh,
Actually, you see one in the
Microphone.
picture with Carolyn. She's
Yeah,
got
he's
a
an
Pro
audio
7.
expert.
Yeah, he kind of does the. There you go.
Here's an example.
I got you.
These are the Pro 7 switches, one of his top of the line things, and they're fantastic.
Yeah.
I've got one for sale.
Of course you do.
Yeah, but he, sure, he'd be, for people, that I don't have anything really fancy that I use, but that, I'm sure he's good at explaining and justifying why some of them cost us. Some of those Barry, what the good ones, what are they getting up to now? $600-700?
Pro 7's $189.
189, that sounds cheap. I bought mine for a lot more than that.
I just, I thought it was a couple of $100.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe that's used on the internet that I had that price.
Yeah, I bought mine at Huntsville Hamfest a couple of years ago.
Well, I may have just got myself in trouble because like I said, I'm here in the motel room and my wife's behind me, and I just said how much I spent on my aviation headset. So yeah.
Yeah.
So beyond just the gear, his like HeilHamRadio.com is their official website for the gear, as well as they have articles on there about different settings and what adapters to get, and they even break it down by settings based on if you've got a Yaesu or an ICOM or an L-Craft. So they go into some optimization aside from just trying to
Right.
sell you their brand.
Yeah, and that's what I was looking forward to, is him going into a little bit more deep. He can get specific about some things that we may not even think about, that why he does have different models and the advantages and everything. So I think it's gonna be great.
I think he makes some custom elements for the microphones and headsets as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and some of them, like their specific branded ones, like they have a prefix of, like, I think IC for the ICOM stuff, and they even walk on his website, walk you through, if you have one that's pre this generation, you need to get one that's driven versus undriven if it's newer software based radio and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, something I haven't followed up on it more, but some of the newer HTs have got Bluetooth on them, and I'm still surprised that a couple of years ago when I had one that's got the Bluetooth, there weren't really any Bluetooth headsets out there. Can I ask him more about that? If there's some particular reason or what's in the pipeline for that? But I always thought that'd be a great idea. Having a wireless headset, especially for HTs.
And the only negative is you got to deal with the delay.
Yeah, like I said, there might be some reason. Yeah. All right, so I think we're good on definitely for this month, and I think we'll have enough for we usually do, like Joe said, between login, layout, who's doing what, the new location and everything, I think June for field day that that'll be a good topic. All right, anything else? Programs related? All right.
Good.
Barry, how we doing?
Who, me?
Yeah,
Well, no news is good news, you know. I believe one thing I wanted to bring up to the board is this recommendation, and I believe you got the email also.
Yeah.
From Mark Gwynn out of West Memphis.
Yeah.
He is wanting us to put Wires X on the Brunswick, the old Bellevue repeater. And, you know, I can read the whole email to everybody if they want to hear it, but just so you'll know what would be involved, because I personally know very little about trying to do something like that remotely. So, you know, it's basically, well, let me go ahead and read it. That's not very long.
yeah.
But he sent it to me, and Steve said, I told both of you that I had an extra laptop that I may be willing to donate to the club. I was afraid that the hard drive was bad. My friend told me this morning that the hard drive was excellent shape. He thinks may have a lot of spyware, blah, 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 you know. Anyway, the laptop is in good shape, or will be, could be. He said, so I just tried getting into the 443.700 repeater from my house in West Memphis, and I was able to key it up on my Yaesu 991A at 45 watts. So if the club will buy a Yaesu FTM 300DR, which I got a problem with,
Yeah.
and the extra antenna and mast, I will be willing to set up a Yaesu HRI 200 at my house and run Wires X remotely. Now, I don't understand how this works remotely, but that's just because I haven't ever looked into it. But anyway, someone in the March meeting said that they had a HRI 200 they weren't using. He was a Hispanic guy. He said that he would be willing to donate it to the club. The Yaesu FTM 300DR in its specs say it will connect to the HRI 200. I looked specs up on ham radio outlet website. So if you think about my proposal, get back to me. Anyway, first of all, that 300DR, that's a $450 radio, the cheapest I've found it, you know, about $460. And I don't understand it is, I assume he's talking about it all going out to his house. Now, I still don't understand how it's going to interface into
Gary,
yeah.
Bobby Stroud knows more than Mark Gwynn. If we're interested,
sure he does.
KD5BS is the one that was instrumental in doing Wires X around.
Sure. Yeah, and he's talked to me about it several times, and I haven't. He was talking about me doing it at first, and I'm not going to donate my internet to this, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And number one, well, the biggest thing is how much interest is actually into it. We've got one or two Wires X's around here already, and nobody's using them that I know of. I think there's one, the 8.8 machine, I think is, but it's sporadic. I think Jeff has got a set up remotely at his house, but everything's at his house. It's not going out to a different repeater, I don't think. I don't know. But I don't know, I just kind of have a problem, you know, from my side, trying to maintain something like this and, you know, when I really don't have control of it. So it's up to everybody what you want to do, but, you know, I figured we need to at least give him an answer. But I need to understand more about it first. And yeah, Bobby Stroud will be a good one to talk to about it, just to get details from him, because, you know, I've never really looked into it seriously.
Well, do we want to answer, number one, let me put them in this order. Number one, is this something we want to see if there is an interest on Tuesday with the club, seeing as,
That'd probably be a good idea.
you know, and then before that, I could answer him back and say, hey, you know, we did talk about it at the board meeting. You know, we wanted to wait till the board meeting and to get back with him, but you know, we are, you know, we acknowledge his email and say that we're, you know, checking into it some more and see if he's going to be on the meeting on Tuesday and see if he wants to explain anything else if we do bring it up to the members.
Well,
Steve, I don't think he can really explain much more.
Well, that's what I was.
And I don't even think I would want to have him bring it up.
Right.
Well, I know him, and I just thought it's either going to raise a lot more questions or it's going to, you know.
Another thing is Wires X, the regional Wires X meeting that they have is on the Aries meeting night, the fourth Tuesday of the month. So that creates a problem, I think, for Shelby County.
Like I say, I don't know a whole lot about it. You know, it's a fusion system. You have to have a Yazoo radio to be able to get into it. And it might not hurt just to at least, without saying anything else, who would be interested in using Wires X, you know, on a regular basis? Because we don't need another repeater system that's, you know, not going to be used.
Right.
We've already got 6, and of course, Bellevue one is the 6th one, but this would be adding more stuff to it. So I don't know.
Okay.
Until I know more about it, I'm not in favor of it.
Okay. We'll see if there's enough interest in the club. You know, if there is interest, then we'll see why, you know, we'll follow up with the people that are interested in it and then go from there.
That'd probably be the best thing, and just not say really anything else about it. And if there's no real interest in it, that should cut it out right there, in my opinion.
Okay. That's what I was thinking.
So
Is there any good reference material? If somebody asks the question, we got a system diagram or at least something that would
No.
describe how it would work?
no, because I don't know. I'm totally at a loss as to how this works.
Bobby Stroud probably does.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
he's got a couple of systems already set up at his house. He's down in Olive Branch. But, you know, I told him that I wasn't really willing to set it up at my house and be totally responsible for it, including the internet, you know,
Yeah.
which is required. So I don't know. I'm open to whatever everybody decides, but until I learn more about it, I'm not for it. So
Well, before we waste
that's
much more
going to be a
time-
lot of money to spend too.
Well, what'd you say, 400? And so we're with everything.
Just say 500 for the radio,
Yeah.
and then you're talking about a mast and whatever kind of antenna has got to be purchased for it. And he's talking about it, I guess, going to his house. Surely not out at the Brunswick site, because we can't put up another antenna.
Right.
You know, so I don't quite understand everything.
Okay.
In the interface unit's about 200, I think.
Yeah,
All in, we're looking at about $1,000, you know, at or around $1,000. It's wouldn't be out of, you know.
if something goes wrong with it, who's going to work on it?
Yeah.
You know, if the equipment is located at his house. So I don't know. It's just, I wasn't real keen on the idea.
I didn't think you were for some reason, and you know, knowing the source of the email, I was kind of, it sounded like to me he was going to donate a computer that was a piece of garbage. And he was going to spend $1,000 to hook up to his computer. It's a piece of garbage. So
I know. And
that's what I got out of the email.
I personally, go ahead.
I was going to say, why don't we essentially table this till the next board meeting. I mean, because it sounds like 1,000 isn't a whole lot of money, but it's still a large chunk. And that way that gives us time to gauge interest. And then you could talk to Bobby and we can say for sure, yes or no.
If
And,
there would be a whole lot of interest in this,
June.
I'd be all for it.
Right.
But it'd be worth it. But I don't want to spend $1,000 on something
Yeah.
that nobody's going to use.
Right, right. But is anybody thinking it's a bad idea to not bring it up next week? Everybody's okay with that?
Yeah, just the interest part.
Okay, just the interest. Just say, hey, what's the, so that we know if it's worth pursuing or not. Is there an interest in this? And just
You want me to put that in Sparks under the announcements, just so that we can give a heads up, or you just want to bring it up in the meeting?
I don't know. What do you think, Steve?
that'd be all right.
I think so.
Steve, you can put it in the president's message.
I don't know if that's really.
It looks like he's promoting it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
True.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, let's just put it in. Just put it, slide it somewhere there in the Sparks, and that way, if somebody's looking at it close enough, then they've got a heads up where they could research it a little bit.
I'll put it in the announcement, just say that, we'll be bringing up, we'll be gauging the interest level of Wires X in the area or something like that.
Good idea and good phrasing. Okay.
I believe that's all I had. So
Okay.
everything's been running good, I think.
All right. Yeah, I think so.
Is there going to be time, in addition to Bob's presentation to
We're not discussing it.
get into it? Okay.
We're not discussing.
We're just gonna be,
Asking-
raise your hand if you're interested in Wires X or have equipment that's capable of Wires X.
Right.
Okay.
That would probably be something I would probably think I would do it after he does his, so we're not taking away from his time.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure. We don't want to discuss it at this point.
Yeah.
And you want me to just put a little blurb in there about the, June, the field day is coming up. I think that's June 26th. And is there any kind of special announcement we want to do around that, or just say, be aware and we'll be talking more about it in the June meeting?
I think
Well, May and June meeting. Yeah, we'll talk about it in May and June, but we will have a field day that's closer to normal. This is being planned for this year.
And that will be June 26th?
26th and 27th.
Okay.
Field day actually starts at 1 p.m. the 26th and goes to 1 p.m. the 27th.
Okay.
Okay.
and the weather will be perfect no matter what.
Yeah.
Hot and wet.
Yeah.
Or rainy. Yeah, it's stormy.
Yeah.
Just like today.
Got that. There's,
Yeah.
we've got access. If y'all are familiar with that, it's the park that's right there near the GPAC, the Great Hall, the swimming pool, that type stuff. It's just south of that. There's some tennis courts right there near Germantown Road. It's getting myself turned around here kind of east of the tennis courts, but there's a big, huge pavilion there. We definitely have access to that. There are some restrooms, it's a bit of a haul, but there are some restrooms there. This place doesn't have any kind of a kitchen, so we're going to have to do something different about the cooking. Lance normally does some cooking, and there's probably close to a parking lot where he could bring his trailer grill that he usually uses. So, I mean, it's going to be close to normal, but it's not going to be quite, in my opinion, it's not as ideal as where we were before with the horse thing, but that's going to be used this year by the horses. Apparently, there's some big competition with what I heard last year, with Florida being a little bit more open than some of the other places in the United States last year. They kind of got kind of the foot in the door with some horse events that they didn't in the past, and it's getting interesting in the horse field. So, okay, all right, Carolyn. We got any new members? I keep forgetting to do mine. I gotta do mine. I know it. Y'all gonna have to kick me out. Unmute.
Yeah, next. May membership applications. We have 2 new members. Wallace Bell, K04OWD Tech. And he wanted to pay for 4 years to coordinate with his ARRL membership. So he paid $60 because then there's the prorate for the rest of this year as a newbie. It works for me on my spreadsheet. I can just add 3 more columns to credit him up to 2024.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm okay with
Not a
that.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay. And Jonathan Park Dodge, AI5CY Extra. And Harold Crouch, KC9SZC SZC. Perry Hayes, N4GJ Extra. And that's it. So do we want to vote these in?
Okay.
All in favor?
All in favor? Yay.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Any objections?
William Bell was a member in the tech class, so actually if he's an ARRL member, his is free for the rest of the year.
Yeah. So he paid for 3 extra years.
As well as Dodge.
Well, Dodge paid, so I don't know if you want to tell him or whether he wants that to be a donation, but I understand.
Let it be a
Should
donation.
be. Okay,
Both of them can afford it.
Oh, Dodge.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's
There was a question.
Hook him up for refreshments one night.
Right. There was a question. I got an email from Ben Troughton, KU4AW. He's not receiving emails for Sparks in the Zoom link. I think he's emailed me twice about that. I checked his email on our master member list, BK Trout, TROUGH @bellself.net, and it's correct. So he.
Yeah, I'll verify it whenever I go to send the Sparks out
Okay.
for May. I'll verify it then.
Okay. And I printed out a reference copy of our license.
Yeah.
We discussed that in bylaws, so I've got that, and then a digital copy that I'll keep on hand. And I have one more thing, just kind of thing of interest. In the October 2020 QST, pages 80 to 82, it has all of these kids that got scholarships. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And most of them they're managed by the ARRL Foundation, but they're also matched dollar for dollar. At least this year they were by the ARDC. So they can run from $500 to $25,000. So if you double that, some of these kids are getting a lot of money. And I didn't see our name there. Some of these clubs, they're club specific. Some of them are memorial scholarships, but some are club specific. And I thought it'd be nice if the Delta Amateur Radio Club was there sometime. So it's just kind of casting vision into the future to maybe do a discovery on that and see maybe after we're done with bylaws, if that's something we wanted to consider. Trying to drum up some support with some donors to set up an endowment fund and start a DARC scholarship program, just to show the youth that we're interested in investing in them and passing on the torch to them. Because a lot of our membership is getting older, and I think it would just be really, really nice. So anyway, there are pages at www.arrl.org/the-arrl-foundation. I guess I could type it in the chat. I don't want to keep everybody going. But
Now that's scholarships for what now? For
college students.
College students. Okay, that's what I thought.
And,
Sure.
and everybody has to be licensed ham. And then there's the.
Yeah, that's definitely something we could, is that something we'd want to tie in with what you're doing at Christian Brothers or something, or?
What was that? You asked me a question?
Yeah, is that something, you know, since it's college related, is that somehow tied, would that be a good thing to tie in with what you're doing at Christian Brothers or anything, or?
Well,
Actually, it'd be hard to tie it in with, because it's ARRL is the one that does the selection and everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, but, you know, for somehow, yeah, okay.
now, it looked like some clubs were in there as foundations, others were just like, it just a scholarship, so it's probably kind of a trust fund. But the ARRL Foundation manages it, and I think they charge about 1.5% interest, or it's 1.5% that they charge a year to manage it. And there's a minimum startup endowment fund of $3,000. And then they'll invest it, and scholarships can come out of the dividends. So, and that you can keep adding to it over the years. So you can market it to people as part of their tax plan or estate planning. And so it could just keep growing over the years. So anyway, I just thought it really struck me when I saw that as something that I thought would be nice to do for the next generation. Casting vision. Okay, that's it.
All right, yeah, I'll look into that some more. That's maybe not a bad idea, but that might even, just thinking off the top of my head, which is usually dangerous to do, that might be something to do, you know, with some of the, next time if we get a big estate sale or something, you know, use that kind of some seed money or something.
But it also puts our name as a club out there, and that might attract more young people. I mean, you can have provisions, they already have to be a licensed ham, but you could say that preference is given to members of the Delta Amateur Radio Club and their families.
Yeah.
Or
I guess, Joe, that's what I was thinking, more so than us donating to, you know,
yeah, we wouldn't do it.
Yeah. But it just might be something you might want to make some of the people aware of the next time you do a class out there, that's available.
Well, it could be too.
It might be something that some of the students may not be, and it may be something that's not a lot of competition for. I mean, it sounded like it was a pretty good turnout on that one, but in relative to other scholarships, that might be something where you got a better chance because there's fewer people fighting for the money.
Yep, that's for sure. So I think there were over 100 given out. So.
All right, speaking of money, Jim, we still got any money?
We have plenty of money. We started in our checking. We started with a beginning balance of $20,130.51, and to that we've added $635 this month. The $115 is actually from membership applications that came in March, but it didn't get posted until the 2nd of April. Then Joe had a couple of deposits that he made for the Franklin estate sales in the amount of $400 total. And then we had the four membership applications we just voted on for a total of $120 there. So that brings us to $635. So our ending balance is $20,765.51. In addition to that, we do have our CD, and that amount of, just over, well, let's see, we got $10,698.48. So we've talked in the past about trying to maybe take some of the money out of the checking and toss that into another CD. We don't have any, I don't think we have anything that is coming due this year. So maybe we look at adding this one, and then they'll be kind of staggered.
Yeah. Yeah, we've kind of been kicking that can down the road for a while. What are y'all's thoughts on that? Do we still want to keep the cash handy, or do y'all want to pull the trigger and start looking seriously at doing another CD?
I mean, we've been talking about doing another CED for a while. I think we should go on and do that. So, I mean, the pandemic, everything like seems to be, I mean, I know things are still going on, but I mean, it definitely seems like we're on the other side of that, and we haven't had any repeater issues and all that. So
Yeah.
I think we should
I think
move
we were
forward
kind
with
of
the
scared
CED.
for a while about the repeater, you know, the 8.2, but now that we know that it's not really our fault and it hasn't gotten any worse, I think we're kind of. And how much, what do we have in the checking now?
Almost 21,000.
Ooh,
We should move it.
yeah.
About 10.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, split it.
Let's let's say by next board meeting, if anybody wants to you know, individually, if we want to kind of see what some of our options are with some of the places that y'all know, or if we just want to do it with you know, keep everything together in regions, or if anybody's got any. I tell you what, Jim, if you could, have you done any checking? You know, what's the last thing that we had with regions? Do you know, or?
It wasn't with Regions, wasn't it with Patriot Bank?
With who?
Jim, you're
Patriot
muted.
Bank,
Oh,
the CD?
I don't know. You're muted. You're muted.
It'd probably be easier
Sorry,
just to
sorry.
keep it in region.
Yeah, so the current CD is with Regions
I'd say-
at 1.59%. I'm not sure what their current rates are, but we can look into that.
Let's look into that. I mean, they're all pretty competitive. It may be the easiest thing to do, switching it over. You know, check it, because we have to check in with them to switch it over to a CD with them. Might be the easiest thing, and they might give us a little bit of a better rate.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? Are you doing okay? You and I still hadn't gotten together.
Yeah, we need to
Yeah.
get my name on it so that I can begin writing some checks. I'm going to need to, I think I'm going to need to reimburse some folks for purchases.
Yeah, I've got $91 for Huntsville flea market table.
And then I think also somebody bought a battery. Was that Rick NVM
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Tillman? Okay.
Okay. Well, just let me know what's good with you. I'm gonna be out of touch probably the next couple of days, but anything maybe after this week, just let me know.
Okay. All right. I'll shoot you an email.
All right. Mary Jean? Anything?
Well, we need to set a date
Yeah.
for the next meeting
Yeah.
for revision. So I didn't know. I know with everything going on with Sparks and deadlines and everything, I figured this week would probably be better for quite a few if we didn't do
Right.
anything this week. But what about maybe on like the 13th or the 20th? I mean, because Thursdays seem to be doing well. If that still works for everybody.
Yeah. I could do so far. I could do the 13th.
Can we do it can we do it earlier maybe?
Yeah. Can you,
Like it's, 6:30 to 7:30 or, something. I mean, if that's convenient for everyone.
yeah, we were doing 6:30. We just changed it to 7 because Mary Jean was running behind on something last week. So
Yeah,
six-
I was still out of town. I was still out of town at the at the time. So
So we want to shoot for 6:30 next Thursday, the 13th. Right.
That sounds good.
All right, let's do that. I'll send out a invite for that. Anything else?
yeah, so I was just gonna say, I don't know, good job, everybody so far. I know it's very tedious with what we're having to do with the revision on the bylaws, but I mean, it has been quite a while since that has been revised, and I don't know, we've learned a lot in the past 2 years.
Yes.
Well, really, even more than that. So I know there's a lot to do. So just good job to everybody. But the only other thing I was going to mention, and we've talked about this a couple times before, but we still haven't done anything since Field Day is a go, and since Huntsville seems to be a go so far. What about another club polo shirt order?
I actually thought about that when I was going through my closet the other day and saw my own one. I just don't know if that, I mean, it would be nice, but is that pushing it a little bit on some, you know?
We've got to get back meeting in person so we can collect money and all of that.
Yeah.
Possibly have, you know, samples for.
See, trying to do it before field day for sure. Because you're gonna have people wanting to try it on and see the shirts and everything else. It would be nice to have it by Huntsville, but I just don't know. What do y'all think? I mean, I hate to say it, it's been a while since I've gone out and got anything. Are you even able to really try on stuff at store? You know, up till a couple of months
Yeah.
ago, you couldn't even try stuff on at stores.
Yeah, there I mean, there may be a few stores that aren't, but yesterday I was actually in 2 different stores, tried on stuff that they weren't a few months ago. So it seems like most stores are going now.
A little bit better on that. Okay. I just didn't want to do. I didn't want us to do it if somebody said, "Well, wait a minute, I went to, you know, whatever yesterday and I couldn't try it on. Why are y'all letting us do it?" So, well, that's something else we could bring up next week, next week, and just see if there is an interest in shirts. So I don't see how we could do it before field day for sure. I mean, heck, that's just a month, really a month away.
Is there somebody you want the membership to email if they're interested in that? I could put that in Sparks and just say, you know, email so-and-so or.
Well, and I was going to ask y'all, I was kind of hoping Lynn would be on here, but I know he's been dealing with a lot. I know he did the last order, so I certainly would not want to step in on anything if he is still wanting to handle the shirt order. But if he has a lot going on and doesn't want to deal with that, and that's something we wish to pursue as a club, I would not mind doing that. So.
Yeah, he's really having some issues with his back. As a matter of fact, he texted me saying that he was up some today and he's flat on his back now.
Okay. Yeah, he's probably not going to be you know, able to do too much like that. So I like the shirts that you were suggesting, you know, a year or so ago, that, you know, those that
the 511 polos.
I'm sorry?
The 511 brand polos with the like pin pockets and the mic clip thing. And
yeah, I like those shirts. You know, it sounded like you with some of the stuff you've done before, you kind of had a little bit of a experience with that and maybe a little bit of a connection. So, you know, if I tell you what, if you wanted to check and see if that's, you know, what they're doing right now, what our options would be and what the lead time would need to be and stuff, that might help us kind of decide what we need to do. It is still so surprising. Some things, you know, I'm talking to some people about different things. It is still some things, it's months. What used to be a lead time of days is still months on some things.
Good point.
Is that something you want me to put into the Sparks about again, we're gauging interest on, or just want to bring it up in the meeting, how we want to handle it?
Let me just bring it up off the cuff at the meeting before we put it in Spark.
Okay.
And that'd give us a chance to even see if it, heck, that may be one of those things. That may be the next thing in the news tomorrow night. The chlorine shortage and t-shirt shortage. Every time you turn around, it's a different shortage. All right.
Yeah, at the
Okay,
meeting,
well,
at the meeting,
Sorry,
you
Joe.
can ask who would be interested in getting a t-shirt, a polo shirt.
Yeah, I kind of just tied in with.
If we don't have 12, 15, 20 people interested,
Right.
you can't do it.
Right. I kind of tied in with field, announcement about field day and stuff to say, hey, look, we would normally would have liked to have had them by then, but not gonna be able to do it this year, but with other things coming up and it's been a while, and we've got some new members and different things, who would be interested in it? Yeah.
Surely I can figure out something to see if I can get a rough price on what they'd be too. Because if we're thinking, 15 a polo versus 30 a polo, that might change a lot of people who are interested in it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll see if I can find out some stuff too and email you guys when I find something out.
To get something good quality, you're going to have to pay good money. I would prefer that we have something good quality. The 5.11 brand is really good quality shirt. So I think it would be definitely worth the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were nice shirts. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Anything else, Mary Jean?
That's it.
Okay, those are good points. Good points. All right, Mike. Sound like you're working on Sparks. You got.
Yep. Yeah, I've received a lot of good information from Bob and Joe and others that I'm going to include in this month's edition. So I got taking some notes here as well about what to put in the announcement. So still am behind on updating the website. I don't have good internet access where I am right now, and so I'm going to have to figure that out. But I do plan to have it done before the next meeting.
Okay.
We did get a number of back Sparks on the website I saw.
I noticed that. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah. I don't know who did that, but yeah, that made me feel a little better that we hadn't lost that. While I'm thinking about it, I still get emails from register.com, that we've got the website name through and everything. I hadn't even looked at it in a while, but for some reason I thought, man, when's that thing expire? We're good through 23. So we got a couple more, when we did it, we said, heck, that's one we want to keep for a while. So we're good for a few more years on that. So if anybody's.
Yeah, that's what Bob was telling me.
Okay. Like I said, if anybody wakes up at 2 o'clock in the morning, that's one of the things that's keeping them awake. We're about to lose our domain name or something. We're good.
Right.
Good. It actually, it's like everything else. I get an email from register.com about every other day about one thing or another. And I'm afraid somewhere in there I missed the fact, oh, your name's about to expire or something. But
yeah, I get MailChimp about every day as well.
Yeah. But we're good through sometime in 23, and I'll keep an eye on it and pass on the information if anybody needs it. Definitely when we hopefully change things next year. So. All right. Anybody got anything else?
Does Bob have a call sign? I can write in a minute. I just heard Bob. I'm not sure which Bob this is.
AW4RJ.
Okay.
And yes, and I am recording this, and I know that I've been sending y'all the link, and I've been doing it through the YouTube, but I think I've said it before, and just be sure everybody knows and is okay with it. I'm doing that, but it's not public. Just because you got the link, you can see it, but that's definitely not something I'm putting in that's got public access. So I just thought it might be an easier way for y'all to access it and it actually uploads a little bit faster, so. All right,
I will not be able to make it to the June board meeting, the club meeting. I should be available for. But just so y'all know, Ray and I will work everything out ahead of time.
okay. Thanks for letting us know. All right, anybody got anything else? We're right at 1 hour, we did it. All right, I will, Mike, when do you need the stuff for me? By Friday or Saturday's working okay?
Yeah, Friday or Saturday's fine. I normally try to, work on it Saturday and Sunday and then get it published by Monday. So
Okay.
yeah, if you can get it to me by Saturday, that'll be great.
With my wife being in the hospital, I may have some spare time the next day or two. But this is actually one of those things. It's kind of an inspiration thing. It's what I stew on it for a while, and then it comes together. So, but I'll see if I can stir the juices up a little earlier this week and get it to you. So,
Yeah, if we can get it out on Sunday, we might get a little bit better attendance at the meeting. If we can get it out Sunday.
yeah. Well, that's why I usually get mine out by Friday or so. So, okay. All right, I'll try to even do it a little sooner this because I actually might, no promises, but I might could do it the next day or so. And that way, if I get busy at the end of the week when she's going home, then I won't tie up.
All right. That sounds good.
All right. Anything else?
Wish the best for Jill.
Well, thank you. Thank you. All right. All right. I appreciate it. And y'all have a good evening and we will see you next week.
Yeah, looks like the thunderstorms
Sounds
are
good. Thank
dissipating.
you.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Talk to you later.
Okay.